What does it really mean to love your neighbor as yourself? This question stems from Matthew chapter 22 verses 35 to 40, where Jesus is put in a tricky situation by someone who thinks they know the law very well. The problem is they know the law, but they do not know how to apply it. And Jesus answers them by saying, love your neighbor as yourself. What Jesus was essentially telling this individual was he needed to love his neighbor without any biases, prejudices. For this person, his neighbor would be a fellow Samaritan, someone he looked down upon who was in the crowd that day, or to the larger group of Jews and Samaritans. When Jesus was telling this person that he needed to love his neighbor, he was intending that he needs to love his neighbor irrespective of what he looks like, where he comes from, and what the history is behind the relationship they both shared. We are to love our neighbors without a tainted perspective and what we know about them. We need to love our neighbors as yourself, for this teacher of the law also meant to show grace. The Jews and the Samaritans weren't the kindest to each other, and Jesus was laying down an important principle that the same love we receive from God is the same love we are supposed to extend in grace to our neighbors. We lose our patience, we get so angry with those who are difficult to maintain a relationship with, but Jesus is encouraging us to show grace by telling us that we need to love your neighbor as yourself. And finally, this person really didn't have a problem with loving himself. What he did have a problem with is to hold someone else in the same esteem as he held himself. And Jesus was telling him to love your neighbor as yourself meant to love your neighbor with the same measure that you loved yourself. We love ourselves and we have no problem in self-love. But when we are supposed to extend that to someone else, we falter. Friends, to love your neighbor as yourself is to extend the grace, to give God glory by loving even when it's difficult.